Alexa, play a peaceful song.
Your membership has expired. After 60 seconds of advertising, you can enjoy 30 minutes of
Alexa,
listening.
mute.
Don't miss our iHeartRadio at-home sessions with Jesse McCartney.
Alexa, stop.
Setting the tone with a very existentialism outline was a great framework, so we understood the ideology framework behind it. Excellent storytelling and just scanning through the documents in his room. It told us everything we needed to really know about this character, where he's at, his progression, and you got a lot of information in one quick scan. And I thought it was great to swap one ideology for another in trying to uncover the world, and testing the thesis of being in the simulation. Really gripping dive into it, into a psyche, into the mindset of, into the distortion of lack of sleep. And the visual effects and world building were brilliant, really, really well executed.
Treads the line perfectly between sci-fi and psychological thriller almost, especially because the enemy really is inside oneself in this piece, right? And the battle, the ongoing battle to not sleep, is this internal battle. But the filmmakers do a wonderful job at having that internal battle be externalized in dramatically alluring and entertaining ways, frankly, that of course lead to this ultimate horrifically tragic end.
Kind of makes me want to cry when I think about it more and more. This was just a powerful film in such a short period of time. Really beautiful music and powerful opening. As far as you know what's happening right off the bat. Really good actor. I think it takes a lot for somebody to be able to, hold their own and hold attention of the audience when you're in one location and you don't really have dialogue. I mean, this person had such amazing, except when he was talking to Alexa, I don't really think he had much much that he was saying. Just a really great actor, because he had to go through so much in this room, from being suicidal to, hoping it's a game and you're going to wake up and be in another world. Because I think it does feel like maybe when you're suicidal, it feels like you just wish there was somewhere else, because I don't know. I mean, it was just really cool the way you did that with whoever wrote this, with the writing regarding this is a game. You did it. He stayed awake for 11 days or whatever it was, and now he's in the real world, because the world he's in now is not where he wants to exist. Definitely not an uplifting film, but I think it really makes you really think about what somebody's going through when they're at that point.
I like the special effects for all the confusion, even the motivation to start doing this, the blurriness, the extreme exhaustion, and how confusing it all is when you are sleep deprived. And this character was so on point. This plot is so mysterious. They do a great job. I actually don't know what happened. It is so well done. I love the special effects. I love the counting of the hours without sleeping. It was just very unique.
This was clever. It was really, really clever. I love the way that the filmmakers set up the story and how they told it. Cinematography was great. Sound was great. They did the editing in this. Really, it helped everything move along really beautiful. And the way that they explained what was actually happening, how they set up their story. They had a great story.
It dealt with a lot of very, very serious issues and very serious topics. And then I think that, giving himself this challenge of trying to stay awake for X amount of hours kind of gave him a purpose for, however long that is, which was, I think, like 260 something hours. And so I think that that kind of spurred him on, and like I said, gave him a purpose, which I don't necessarily think that he had before. And then, you know, to think that he's actually done it, to think that he's actually, you know, made it past this point, discovered this whole thing about how everything's a simulation and, you know, all of that stuff, only to discover that he had fallen asleep hours beforehand. I think just kind of pulled the rug out from under him and took away that sense of purpose that he'd had, made him feel like he had failed in some kind of way. And so I thought it was really, really fascinating. I really loved the moment at the very end where the thing kind of does glitch and falls over to the side. I thought, like I said, I thought it was really interesting, and I thought the concepts were really, really fun to work with, even if they did have a very serious undertone.
When it comes to having suicide ideations and making a plan to go through with that, the human struggle that we have in this era of our version of the Great Depression, where people can't pay their bills, they can't find the means to survive. We have this character who becomes fixated on different things as we see that they basically make preparations to unalive themselves. They come across little tidbits that keep them from going all the way here, whereas it be Siri answering a question, or having a Spotify-like service, cutting to a commercial. So it's not really setting up this idealism that this character has to kind of go through his thought process and make these final acts. There are definitely some sci-fi elements here to completing the level, completing the game, and having this and this notion, this node, this nod to Inception as well, with the final little chess piece, so to speak, being clear and standing to then fading and then being knocked over. It's kind of making you wonder, did he unalive himself? Did he not?